So, today we're going to be discussing the 2020 Senate elections in the United States. So, at the beginning of the election season, like last year, it seemed very unlikely that the Democrats will have a easier chance at the Senate. But due to the COVID situation, I think the Republicans' chances of maybe retaining the Senate have gone down. So today we're gonna see exactly what races are important, and I'm gonna make a final prediction of what is gonna happen. So one thing I would say is that first of all, the VP election will go for the Democratic Party, like I previously mentioned in my election prediction on May 1st or May 3rd. So Democrats will be taking the VP just in case there's a 50-50 tie. VP will go to the Democrats. So for the safe states for the Democrats, Oregon is a reliably Democratic state, so that would be no fight for them. New Mexico has become a more reliable state, especially in a presidential year where they vote a lot heavier with the Democrats. In addition to that, we have Illinois. We also have the state of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, and Delaware. Those states are pretty much a done deal. They're safe for the Democratic Party. Other than that, most of the other states are either lean, likely, or tilt. Now, for safe Republican seats, there are a lot. There's Idaho, there's Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, and the others will be in the other margins. West Virginia, and I think Alaska as well. There's no prominent Democrat from Alaska running, so there will not be a contested Alaska Senate race. So let's move on to our likely states. So in these states, I think are the states that are going to go a little bit more less than safe, but they're still going to be in a good margin. So with the state of New Hampshire, I think that would be a likely Democratic seat due to the fact that Jean Shaheen is very popular right now. And her poll numbers are great. They're like 8% lead consistently, meaning that there's a very high chance that she would win the election. This election could have been a lean or tilt due to the presidential election factor, but I think it would easily go to Jean Shaheen. Now, next, we're going to have for the Democrats, the state of Virginia. There have been a highly increasing number of safer seats in Virginia. We've seen them take over the state legislators. They won a Senate race in 2018. The Democrats won the Virginia presidential election in 2016, and they've been winning for consistently for over 12 years. So Virginia, I think, is going to be a likely seat for the Democrats, as well as the state of Colorado. This would be a flip. Cory Gardner is not the most popular guy in the state of Colorado, and John Hickenlooper is such a popular governor. I think it would be in likely margins that Senator Cory Gardner will go down. And I think it would be a far-fetched idea, but in the state of Arizona, it is increasingly looking very bad for Martha McSally. Mark Kelly is a prominent picture in that state due to the fact he's the husband of Gabby Giffords and a very big gun control advocate. So the state of Arizona is going to have two Democratic senators. Imagine that. Also, the Rust Belt states, the state of Minnesota, Tina Smith is mildly popular there. She served as lieutenant governor, and I think there will be no hard race for her here. But where there will be a little bit of a harder race is going to be in the state of Michigan, which I think will later get to that, but that would not be as a done deal as Minnesota, but it would be for the Democrats. Now, in the likely Republican states, we're going to have states like Mississippi. There will be lower margins due to the African American turnout, but there still be a big lead for the Republican Party. Instead of Georgia at large would be likely Republican. They're not running anyone prominent except maybe John Ossoff, and I don't think they can pull it off. Especially if there's an incumbent senator, it will be a completely different story for the special election. In the state of South Carolina, it will also be likely it's Lindsey Graham. He is simply one of the heads of the Republican Senate. He's a very prominent guy in the state, and I think he will simply easily win this state. Although there will be a lower margins for him. In addition, the state of Texas, John Cornyn, he is a very popular guy in Texas. He's like more popular than Ted Cruz, And since they're not running anyone like Beto O'Rourke or something like that, there is no chance it'll be competitive. It might be mildly competitive, but nothing that the Democrats can win. Now, moving on to the lean states. Michigan is going to be a lean state. Gary Peters is holding on. John James will not win this race. He got rejected by the governor race in 2018, where Gretchen Whitmer won, and I don't think he simply has it to beat Gary Peters. Also, lean Democratic, I think that would be the state of Maine. Susan Collins is consistently polling worse than Sarah Gideon, which would be the Democratic nominee. She has been losing a lot of popularity in this state. She was one of the most approved senator, the third most approved in 2016, and now she is landed at position 97. That's a very big fall from grace. She's the most disapproved senator in the United States. So there'll be a 97 like position ranking lost. So Sarah Gideon will have an easier race, but it will not be that easy. Now, lean Republican will be in the state of Alabama, simply because although Tuck Jones might be a good guy and a lot of the Democrats in Alabama like him, unfortunately for him, he is not. He's a Democrat in Alabama. He's very vulnerable. And then Donald Trump has been campaigning rapidly there, and it depends. I don't think there will be a split primary thing like you've seen in the past, like with Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. So there will be a contested primary for the Republican nomination, but it's going to end up being the Republican nominee who wins the seat. And also, a lean Republican state would be the state of Kentucky. Mitch McConnell, not as popular. People have disliked him for a long time as he become the Senate Majority Leader. But unfortunately for Amy McGrath, the Democratic challenger, it's going to be very hard to pull off. It's a Republican state. Things happen. We saw Andy Beshear won the governor race, but that's many different factors going on. Okay, so now we're going to go to the tilt states. Now, the tilt Democratic states. First, the state of Montana, I believe, will be tilt Democratic. Steve Bullock, a very popular governor, and I think he has a good chance at winning a statewide race. In addition, that his opponent is not that big. He's a big senator, but simply Steve Bullock has a lot. The people there love him. Imagine having two Democratic senators from Montana. Simply crazy. Now, in the state of Kansas, if the Republican Party nominates Chris Kobach number one, that would be a horrible move for them, because Chris Kobach is not popular in the state of Kansas. So, assuming I would just leave it as a tilt Republican, just in case that they don't nominate him. But if they do, it's a totally different scenario. It could possibly go to the Democrats, like the 2018 Kansas governor race. Now we're gonna have the state of Georgia special election. I also forgot that one. That would be a lean state for the Republicans, because they're not running anyone prominent. If they ran Stacey Abrams, this would be a hit run. It would be very close. I don't think the new senator there who replaced Johnny Isakson is very popular. So, who knows? Maybe it's the Democrats. If they're just giving away 2 seats, they could have probably giving a good shot. So, I don't think that the special election, it's not this year. When those seats go back up for re-election, possibly the Democrats will run someone good. In the state of Iowa, Joni Ernst is not that popular. She's like in the least 10 approved senators in the United States by their constituents. So this one will be kind of hard, but I would say that she would narrowly win, because Donald Trump has a big base there, and probably that's just simply why Donald Trump will be pushing in the state of Iowa a lot of votes. And then last but not least, in the state of North Carolina, unfortunately for the Republican Party, I think they're going to be too focused on other states, on winning other Senate races, such as Montana or other competitive races like in Kansas or in Maine, in Michigan. So they're going to forget about the state. And then there's too high black turnout, which will help the Democratic Party. So that is my final prediction, 51-49. And thank you for watching.